What up? We're here in Studio B, which is the random office that is hidden in the Verizon building, and we got a couple things going on. First off, the echo is horrendous in here, so I'm like I don't fuck with it. Second, we are up against the clock because I at B have like 40 minutes left on my lunch, which is fine, no big deal. But the bigger deal, I just ate Chipotle, so there's a doo-doo brewing probably coming in very soon. Anyway, so welcome to week 4. So we're on. Damn, man, the time goes by fast. That's crazy. Week 4. We finally have no undefeated teams left. Myself and Tim both went down in the same week. Tim to Andrew, his arch nemesis. Myself to Wade. And what's got to be one of the largest upsets according to projections in the history of the league. You know, we don't have a clean way to keep up with that stat, but I imagine it's got to be on up there. I think at one point the projections was like a 30-point difference. But Wade pulled it out. My team shot the bed, and I think even in the optimal lineup, he would have won. So, all that being said, I'm still in first place. Got the head-to-head win over Cameron to separate me from the pack of 2-1s. Andrew moves all the way up to second place. Tim is in third place. We have Clay in fourth, Dawson in fifth, and Cameron in sixth. Those are your playoff teams if the season ended today. Those are also all your 2-1 teams. All the teams are 2-1. All have the same record. And then the dividing line, we got the 1 and 2, Charlie leading the pack there. Wade in 8th. John moving all the way back to 9th place. And then Raleigh, the lone winless team remaining 0 and 3 in 10th place, looking to need a pretty major turnaround here pretty quickly. Oh, my bad. My iPad's blocking the camera. The production value is going to shit, man. We used to stand for something in this league. It used to mean something. So let's look at the waiver report this week. Let's see, what do we have? We had the trade on, what day was that? Yesterday, between Raleigh and John. Jameson Williams and Scatabo going to Raleigh for Devontae Smith and George Pickens. Waiver processes. We had Timmy get Dalton Kincaid for $8. We had John in the big spending acquisition of the week with Hunter Henry, who is fresh off of a 2-touchdown performance, currently tied in 3 on the year. Dropped De'Ami Brown, who I know we're all just racing to get. Raleigh went ahead and dropped $11 on the Denver defense, it looks like. We had Tim pick up Woody Marks for free. Tim also grabbed Trey Tucker for $6. John got the Lions defense for $3, and then Andrew made a kicker change, adding Billy Dick. And then this morning, Raleigh came through, finally got rid of Jake Browning, and picked up Cock Turdy with the news that he may be available this week. Which, I mean, is probably your best quarterback available for sure. I would imagine. I don't even actually know who's on waivers at this point. Caleb Williams is gone. Drake May is gone. Maybe you take a flyer on a Jackson Dart or a Sam Darnold, but I'd rather have Brock Purdy than either one of those, honestly. Last week, our will was biggest blowout. Who got blown out the largest? That was Tim by a long shot. I don't remember what the exact numbers are. Obviously, I'll post it in the announcement channel in the Discord here in a minute. But yeah, Tim got his shit kicked in. It was the only game that wasn't in question on Monday night. And honestly, he's probably better for it. He got to enjoy a nice Lions dub. He got to do it peacefully. So honestly, just good for him. This week, our will be highest scoring defense and special teams. What a week to have the Packers defense in a revenge game against the Cowboys, might I say. Yeah, anyway. Here's your $10. Sorry, there's like some fucking tape over here on this desk. Some lady uses this office for like once a week. So there's just some random shit over here. Let me delete that. Oh, tell me start to rumble. The Chipotle's coming in, boys. We got to get a show on the road. All right, into the matchups. Being in first place, I'll start with myself again. Now, this is my first week of a doubleheader against Dawson. We played 2 weeks in a row, and I have gone ahead and looked ahead to the second week since I'm allowed to do that, since we play twice in a row. I guess I'm not 100% clear on the team peaking rules, but I figured that was within bounds. Just they got to say, I think Dawson's going to need to come away with it this week because next week he will have DeAndre Swift and Bijan Robinson both on a bye week. Swift you can probably tank, but he's on the Texans. But losing Bijan, that's big. I mean, it's kind of nice that you get it out of the way early in the season and kind of have him ready to go for the rest of the year. But that week is going to be tough. So I think Dawson really kind of in a not a must-win situation, but sorry, I heard somebody coming in. I think somebody's trying to use the bathroom. In a must-win situation, but obviously in a like to win, losing Bijan next week. Anyway, the thing I'm most mad about, I really don't want to watch fucking Tyreek Hill or the Dolphins. But you know what? Well, give me 1 second? We're going to go see if it's raining outside. We're going to take the shit on the road because I don't want to block the doo-doo toilet if I don't have to. But it was about to start raining. Yeah, no, it looks all right out there. Let's take it around the building. All right. Anyway, Dawson's gonna make me watch that shit on Monday night with Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins when they take on I don't even know the fuck they're playing, the Jets. So I am kind of pissed off about that. But I mean, if that's the worst we got to do, that's the worst we got to do. I guess I'm gonna make him get up at 8:30 and watch my fucking kicker. So there's your payback if you needed some. I've been kind of on the fence, going back and forth between Ricky Pearsall and. Zay Flowers. Talked about that a little bit. I think as long as Jawan Jennings is still out, I think it's dead set on Ricky Pearsall. And even if he comes back, I think I'm gonna go with Slick Ricky there. Brian Thomas. I think you really got to find your footing there with him. He's really like the big thing I fear on left on Dawson's team. Sorry, I got all the way thrown off. Somebody was trying to take a shit. Try to come in that office, dude. Should have just come out here in the first place. A beautiful waterfall. I just thought it was going to rain on us. Dawson is taking a big swing here, starting Drake May this week, at least as of now in the lineup he is. And you look at the matchup for Baker Mayfield. He's got Philly. He's got one of the better defenses in football. And Drake May offers you a lot of rushing upside. So it's not a move that I hate. On paper, you kind of look at that and you're like, what the fuck? But, it's once again, it's not a move that I particularly hate all that much. Anyway, so the projections here have it at 116 to 106 in favor of myself. I will say Kansas City against the Ravens does concern me a little bit. They got a solid rush defense. I'm not starting Zay Flowers against that secondary. And obviously a lot of my team is built on the Ravens' success, which we saw come crumbling down Monday night, despite Lamar having another quarterback, but dominant performance. So I am nervous. I think I have a little bit more on the table out there to take the win. But I'm not like thrilled with the matchups this week. Tyreek Hill and Brian Thomas, they're both struggling, and I don't necessarily see them getting better this week. Yeah, I think I'll take the win now. All right, now we got Nuck If You Duck John against Team Money Mayhem. I do kind of like the kind of talking about benching Baker Mayfield. I do think the Eagles Bucks might be a little more shootout-y than we imagine. I think it's going to be closer to that Rams Eagles game than it is, say, the Eagles Cowboys game. I don't even remember the score of that one. I don't know, but I do think that leans more towards more towards an offensive output. I think Baker and kind of that veteran team and Emeka Ibuka and some of those guys kind of show up against the Eagles. That game's in Tampa Bay. I think they show up and show out. I do think the Eagles, on the flip side, got to keep up with them. I'm not saying the Bucs are going to win that game 100%. I'll probably pick them to win, but I do think the Eagles hold serve with them there. Which means good things for Timmy and his Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley little stack them up. And the other scary thing you got for Tim is James Cook has been on just a historic run. Is he RB1 right now still? Oh shit! I gotta hit the hot spot. Forgot we moved outside. Hold on. Everybody chill out. All right. We're connected. We're connected. We're good. I know everybody's freaking out. We're good. RB2. Who was RB1? Is it Bijan? No. Who the fuck is it? Is it Christian? No, he's RB3. Who am I missing? Y'all, who am I missing? Is it Saquon? No, Saquon sucks dick. Who the fuck is RB1 right now? Oh, it's Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, all right. Anyway, James Cook's been on a historic tear, and he gets the Saints. So, I think I mentioned this last week. The Saints' defense is not as abysmal as their record and their general vibe would lead you to believe. Having said that, I think James Cook's going to run absolutely fucking wild on him. Now on the other side, you had the Amari and Hampton breakout game finally for John. Obviously, he was sitting on the bench for it. That sucks, but you'd rather see it long term for the season than whatever the alternative is there. Bucky gets a little bit of a tough sled against the Eagles as well. But if you're thinking that my theory on the shootout is right, Bucky's a decent receiving target, and he could. Damn, my beard is gray as fuck, dude. That got me stressed. You think that Bucky still stands to gain a little something in that matchup. I'm not completely writing him off. I thought 2 weeks ago, I thought Nico was going to come out, and I thought he was putting up 40 points when he scored that touchdown. The Texans fucking stink, man. That defense is bad, the offense is really, really bad. Tennessee will give up some points and give up some yardage to wide receivers. I do once again think their defense is a little bit better than maybe they're getting credited for, especially when you think about their offense and dealing with a rookie quarterback and that whole shebang. What they kind of had to go through, short fields, not a lot of sustained drives from the offense. So I don't think the Titans' defense is as bad as maybe they're getting credited for. And I do think that game fucking stinks. Just all around. At Tennessee, oh my God, that's gonna be awful, man. Luckily, it's buried in the new window, so maybe Red Zone will just never think about it. And then we have John also starting his new acquisition, George Pickens. No CeeDee Lamb on Sunday night has already been confirmed. So George Pickens is going to be your number one target there. We saw it for years in Pittsburgh, and it would work out from time to time. We'll see if he can consistently get the targets, get the catches, and against Green Bay on Sunday night. Yeah, I mean the website here has this projected in favor of John. I'm actually a little surprised by that. I'm not gonna lie. Usually the website it's because he's got it looks like he's gonna start Trey Tucker. I didn't even see that. Which I guess is Tim's best option. I mean, Jalen Waddle, maybe, but that fucking sucks. Jordan Addison in his first game back, if you think he's going to ramp up pretty immediately. Terry McLaurin's going to be hurt, it looks like. John has a little opening here to get to 500 and make Tim sweat it out a little bit. And yeah, I love the Charger stack against the Giants, dude. I might lean John. I think I'm going to go with John here to get the dub, get to 500, knock Timmy down to 500. Take advantage of having that pretty weak wide receiver 2 slot, especially against the Bears. I know they're missing some secondary, and their the defense hasn't been exactly what it was supposed to be. Is not living up to expectations. But let's go with John here to get the dub. Next, we got Charlie versus Clay. Another 1-2, 2-1 matchup. If everything goes right, we could end up with a lot of 500s. We usually end up with a clusterfuck right in the middle of the league standings anyway. Having said that, Clay is projected to win by 9 points. Jordan Love gets a pretty sexy matchup against the Cowboys, though. I do kind of see this week for Green Bay as a little bit more of a get-right game for Josh Jacobs, which plays right into Clay's hands, who has him on the other side. They've been struggling to get the ground game going in Green Bay, but they've been playing some pretty stout fronts with Cleveland and Detroit thrown into the mix there. And then that Thursday night game where they were just throwing it all over, it kind of was never in doubt. So I would like to see them get Josh Jacobs going against the Cowboys this week. Not to say there's not enough points to go around, but I do think we get more of a Josh Jacobs game than a Jordan Love game. Josh Allen gets New Orleans. There's a chance we get one of those Josh Allen 9-point games where he just doesn't have to do shit. Obviously the potential is there for him to throw up 50 points on a team like the Saints, and they're playing that game in Buffalo. If we look for the Javonte Williams, I think kind of came back down to earth a little bit last week, 9.7, which is kind of more what you expect out of him. And he gets the Green Bay defense this week. I just want no part of any Cowboys this week, I'm going to be honest. I mean, maybe we talk about George Pickens just because he's the only receiving option available, and they're probably going to do something at least, but I just, let's see. Justin Jefferson in Ireland. That never bodes well for the offenses, I don't believe. Now, Malik Neighbors is going to be interesting with the announcement that Jackson Dart will be the starter going forward. I don't think you can get much worse. I do think Russ sucks, but his style did kind of play right into Malik, which is just chuck it up there and let a guy go catch it. So that's going to be really interesting to keep an eye on. He's also got a questionable tag. What's he got going on? Not participating in practice. Oh, maintenance-related reasons. All right, he's fine. He's got a little boo-boo on his back. He's just taking the day off. He's good. Everybody, calm down, Clay. I know you were freaking out over there. And then, yeah. Anything else sticking out here? We'll see if Jensen can get it going against the Bears in that breakout. Oh, and I forgot Charlie acquired Emeka Egbuka last week in that trade. Now the clear-cut wide receiver 1 in Tampa. Sorry about the wind, guys. You just have to deal with it. Clear-cut wide receiver 1 in Tampa Bay with Mike Evans out for a couple weeks and Chris Godwin still out from his injury last year. So if I'm right, and it is going to be a little bit of a shootout. I mean, somebody's got to fucking catch the ball, man. Anyway, yeah, this is a projected win for Clay. I'm just going to agree with the website there. I think I think Clay's got all the tools, but once again, you just never know with Charlie, bro. All right, and then we got Cameron and Big Dumpers Raleigh. Raleigh starting Brock Purdy, his new quarterback. After did he end up starting Jake Browning last week? No, it was Jared Goff. That's right. They let him down on Monday night. Needed 21 points. Couldn't get there. In a game where they scored, 36, 38, something like that. And the quarterback couldn't get 21 points. It's kind of insane. Dak Prescott against Green Bay. Don't love that. But there's not really anybody better on waivers. You kind of got to trot that out there. Brock Purdy against Jacksonville, if he does play, and I guess all signs are pointing to him playing. I think they said he could have played last week, but just wanted to give him one more little look. This fucking website is ass, bro. But a great matchup. I mean, Jacksonville's secondary is pretty cheeks. If you got, selfishly, I hope Jawan Jennings isn't there, but if he is, that's kind of your end for Brock Purdy. Kamara against Buffalo. I will say Buffalo's defense has been run on several times this year. Obviously the Dolphins don't really have a great gap. Sorry, as I was talking about Jawan Jennings, I just got a fucking alert from Clay that Ricky Pearsall missed practice, which honestly, I would rather play Ricky, but if you can just take the decision out of my hands and let me put Zay in, I'm not completely opposed to it, but I guess we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, live update there for y'all, and I guess you can now timestamp when I'm recording this. It's Wednesday at 3:08, so. Anyway, I think Alvin Kamara could get some yardage there. Cam Scatabo, obviously, he's taken over the one spot with Tyrone Tracy out. He's been pretty productive. I think Jackson Dart will probably look to him as an outlet more, as he kind of eases into the offense. That being said, the Chargers defense looks like it's here to stay. It looks like it's legit, so tough sledding there. And then Ja'Marr Chase against Denver with Jake Browning throwing. I mean, Ja'Marr Chase is good enough to put up numbers against Denver, but with Jake Browning, I just don't fucking know, man. I think Breece Hall might be your running back one against the Dolphins this week. I think my dream team's going to have him included in there somewhere. We still don't have a replacement for CeeDee Lamb in Cameron's lineup, but if I'm looking, all he's got is Romeo Doubs. Maybe if Xavier Worthy is back this week, he slides in, but keep an eye on that. I do think Breece Hall and J.K. Dobbins against the Bengals. Holy shit. Yeah. So Raleigh looking for his first dub this week, and I don't know that he's going to get there, man. You got the opening with Dak Prescott probably not putting up that many points, and Ladd McConkey, kind of being the wide receiver 2 in L.A. to start the season. But, man, J.K. Dobbins and Breece Hall with some juicy fucking matchups. And you're going to deal with both those on Monday night. Get fucked, Raleigh. Have fun watching that doubleheader. And oh my God, I'm so sorry, dude. That's going to be awful. Maybe you'll just be up by 80 before those games kick off and you won't have to worry about it. But, dude, I don't envy your Monday night this week. I'm so sorry. Maybe call out of work that day. Yeah. And last we have Andrew and Wade. Wade got in the win column last week with a little Monday night miracle with the somehow the Ravens putting up 30 points and me not getting 46 combined out of my 3 Ravens. So, congratulations. Justin Fields looks like he's going to be back this week. I do think, kind of piggybacking off of Breece Hall, obviously Justin Fields is just as much of a factor in that run game as Breece is. So, we'll see if he can kind of get back into form. Caleb Williams, quarterback 3 on the year so far, if you heard that right. Monster week last week, 4 touchdowns, just shy of 300 yards. Just a monster week. Jonathan Taylor looks like he's back into 2021 form. If he can stay healthy for the year, the Colts are legit. That O-line is for real. It looks like Daniel Jones has figured it back out. So now your opening here for Wade is you've got Jahmyr Gibbs against what has been probably the best run defense in football this year with the Cleveland Browns. They shut down Derrick Henry. They shut down Josh Jacobs. I don't remember who they played at week 1. Doesn't really matter. They've been really, really good. The ultimate test is the Lions. The Lions have had the best run game at football for 4 years now, it seems. Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best backs. The run scheme is insane. So we'll see. I guess not how legit, because the Ravens and the Packers have great run schemes and great running backs of their own right. But that is kind of your silver lining if you're staring at this matchup as Wade. And then we got the Puka Devontae showdown against Indianapolis. Another game that could end up as a shootout with two red hot offenses right now, 2 red hot quarterbacks, and obviously just a couple of their best 2 receivers there. Anything else sticking out here? I don't think so. Chase Brown against Denver, that fucking sucks. Another Monday night double running back matchup. Oh, God, triple. God, y'all have way too many players on Monday night for those fucking games, man. Those games suck. I don't want to watch that shit. Ugh. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Andrew to win that one. I'm gonna go with Andrew to hold the lead on Monday night this time instead of Wade. Revenge for last week. So there's all your matchups. I don't know. I said I'd do a review of Uncut Gems. So you want to talk about Uncut Gems? If you haven't seen Uncut Gems, cut the fucking video off. I got the Criterion collection of Uncut Gems. Hadn't seen it since I went to the theater. I went to the theaters in 2020 in New York with our newest league member Dawson. We saw it at Dolby Cinema and AMC on Times Square. That actually technically wasn't a Dolby Cinema, but it did use the same theater, so it had the sound system. It just wasn't technically labeled as Dolby, but whatever. Yeah, dude, what a fucking movie, man. It's easily Adam Sandler's best performance. It's crazy. It's crazy how good he is. It's insane that he didn't get an Oscar nomination that year for it. He lost to fucking Joker. Like, Joaquin Phoenix was great in Joker, but it's Joker. I don't even necessarily believe that he should have won over Joaquin Phoenix, but he didn't get a nomination. And compared to some of the other noms that year, he was so fucking good, man. Kevin Garnett legitimately was a good actor in that as well. I remember some of the interviews when that movie was coming out, where he kind of tried to do the whole like, yeah, for a basketball player, and Adam Sandler had to shut him down and be like, no, dude, you were legitimately really, really fucking good in this movie, and he is. He is really, really good. But yeah, dude, just fast paced, frenetic. Watching it a second time, and there's just a lot of like a lot of little nods here and there. You can see like the tags on Howie's clothes, kind of alluding to this like facade that he's created. You gotta basically every piece of jewelry that he gets, there's just a person asking for it back at every little piece that they point to. So there's somebody in there that's like, hey man, you got my Furby necklace, you got my watch, you got my, just every single one they call back to and they nod to. Yeah, man, just an incredible film, anxiety inducing. Watched it with AB. She fell in love with it. Not even really her type of movie. Kind of beautiful watching this about a month before, or 2 months before sports betting legalization comes to Missouri. A beautiful cautionary tale. And then real spoiler for the end if you actually don't want the shit spoiled. But I've never been left more like mouth open in a theater or even in my living room, even knowing it was coming, than Howie hitting the bet and just the gunshot going off. And, that's the slow pan into him, dead on the floor, still has a smile on his face. They're zooming in on his veneers. Like, it's such a good movie. Yeah, I think it's definitely going into my top 5. It might even be one of those like an annual rewatch type shit. But like, yeah. Anyway, if you haven't seen Uncut Gems, please watch Uncut Gems. Next week, One Battle After Another. By the way, I'll keep that one spoiler free just because it's going to be brand new, and I know you guys don't be hitting the theaters like me and my boy. But yeah, enjoy your week. Good luck, Dawson. Go fuck yourself twice. Love you. Bye.